Welcome everybody to our information session today. My name is Rebecca Wallace and I work with Randstad in Sydney. I am female, mid-30s, I have fair skin and long blonde hair, and today I am wearing a black top and blazer. Up on screen at the moment, there are some instructions on how to activate live captioning for this session. There are two screenshots that also show you how to do this. In order to activate live captions, you need to go to the meeting controls on your desktop or mobile application and select the More Options button. Now, for those of you using the app, this will be 3 dots in your toolbar at the top of the application. When you click on that, a drop down of options will be available, and if you select Turn on Live Captions, captioning should start. I will just give everybody a moment to activate this if you wish to. What you can also do during today's session is, if you would wish to, you can pin the Auslan interpreters that we have facilitating today's session. To do this, simply right-click on the Auslan interpreters video image and you can click Pin for me. So there's a little icon that looks like a pin there that says Pin for me. You can do this for the Auslan interpreter, and you can also do this for the content that I'm sharing right now so that you can have both feeds live on your stream. I'll just give everybody a moment to do this. Okay, I'm going to move on now. If you're having difficulty accessing any of the information in today's session, please contact our dedicated team on 1800 648 942 or via email on disr.recruitment@randstadsourceright.com.au. And during today's session, we welcome your questions. To facilitate this, please submit your questions to the email address I just mentioned. Thank you to those who have already done that, and we'll be addressing those questions later in the session. Information from today's session, as well as the recording, will be available via the landing page for this recruitment round. So many of you would have already visited this page. The URL for this page is www.randstad.com.au/DISR-people-first. The link to this landing page is also in the invitation that you would have received for today's event. I will now hand over to Tanya Grieve from the department. Thanks, Tanya.
Hi everyone, my name is Tanya Grieve and I'm here representing the department's inclusion team. I'm a Caucasian female with shoulder-length curly grey hair and glasses, and today I'm wearing a black, white and yellow patterned shirt. Our department recognises the First Peoples of this nation and their ongoing connection to culture and country. We acknowledge First Nations people as the traditional owners, custodians and law keepers of the world's oldest living culture, and we pay respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. Today I am coming to you from Canberra, and I offer my respects to the Ngunnawal people, who are the traditional owners of the land on which I live and work. And I extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us today. Thanks, Rebecca.
Thanks, Tanya. I'll now hand over to Fiona Taylor from Randstad.
Thanks, Rebecca and Tanya. My name is Fiona Taylor. I work with Randstad in Canberra. I am female, late 40s. I have fair skin and blonde mid-length hair, and today I'm wearing a navy top and blazer. Welcome to the information session for the Department of Industry, Science and Resources Affirmative Measures Recruitment Program. Randstad are very proud to be partnering with the department to support this program. A long-standing partner of Randstad, Get Skilled Access, has worked closely with us to ensure every stage has been reviewed for accessibility. Randstad have partnered with GSA for a number of years, and in 2021, together we launched the Recruitable Program. The objective of this program is really simple: to create a successful model for the employment of people with disability through mainstream recruitment companies and industry. We are delighted to be here today to share some additional information regarding the department's recruitment program. Joining us today, you've already heard from Tanya from the department and Rebecca Wallace from Randstad. We will also have our Auslan interpreters, Ben Scotcher and Fiona Donaldson. We anticipate that the session will run for approximately 1 hour. So what will we cover today? We will cover an overview of the process. We will give you some approximate timeframes, the recruitment process in a little bit more detail, so we will break down each stage. We will look at the possible outcomes following the completion of the recruitment process. As Rebecca mentioned, there will be time at the end for us to address some questions, and then there'll be some more information about how you can contact us should you have any further questions following today's session. Now, before I move on, I am going to hand back to Tanya just to give you a little bit more background on the recruitment program. Thanks, Tanya.
Thanks, Fiona. The Department of Industry, Science and Resources works to solve some of the country's most pressing challenges, growing the economy and creating jobs for all Australians. The department's advice and insight shapes policy in areas critical to Australia's future, including industry innovation, manufacturing and supply chains, emerging technologies like AI and quantum, resources and critical minerals, and science, technology, engineering and mathematics. In 2020, the Australian Government launched the APS Disability Employment Strategy, which set out a comprehensive plan to improve the employment outcomes for people with disability by 2025. In the same year, our department launched our first Accessibility Action Plan. One of the focus areas of this plan is to create career opportunities for people with disability, and this Affirmative Measures recruitment program is one way we are working to achieve this. The department is looking for people with disability for various roles. It's a chance to bring your unique perspective and influence real change. So this is an Affirmative Measures recruitment program under Section 33 of the APS Commissioner's Directions 2022 and is open only to people with disability. In the first phase of this recruitment program, we collaborated with our Disability and Wellness Employee Network to find out exactly what makes our department a great place to work. Their feedback formed the basis of our employee value proposition, which you can read about on the Careers for People with Disability page of our website. The link to this page will be in the email you received inviting you to this information session. So, what makes us a great place to work? One aspect of the employee value proposition talks about how we are a safe space. You can bring your true self to work and flourish. This is an accessible and inclusive workplace. The whole team will support and empower you to achieve your career goals. DISR helps you feel safe, engaged and valued. We think beyond the traditional 9 to 5, and here you have the freedom to arrange your schedule and find a true work-life balance. Do you need workplace adjustments? Our first answer is yes. We will create the right environment for you. We also offer great opportunities for professional growth. From industry innovation to manufacturing, AI to critical minerals, we are solving some of Australia's biggest challenges. Here you will play a vital role in shaping policies and creating solutions defining Australia's direction. This breadth of work offers endless pathways to grow your career, skills and experience. There's also an opportunity for you to apply through our employment register for future roles, and these roles are also open to people with disability. I'll now hand back to Fiona to tell you more about the recruitment process.
Thank you, Tanya. It's Fiona from Randstad. On the screen is a high-level graphic that highlights the 5 stages of this recruitment program, and beneath that, the approximate timeframes. Now, I will say timeframes are approximate and may be subject to change, but we will keep you informed throughout the program of any changes that may impact you. So our processes and timelines, there are 5 stages to this program. The first is the application. The second is an application review that will be conducted via phone or email. The third is a video interview. The 4th stage involves a work sample and panel interview. And the 5th is the references. We will go into these recruitment processes in a little more detail now, but before I do, I will hand back to Tanya just to give a little more information on reasonable adjustments. Thanks, Tanya.
Hi, it's Tanya speaking again. We know that the standard APS recruitment process can present obstacles for people with disability. And for this reason, we consulted with accessibility experts to develop a customised process that addresses as many of these obstacles as we could. Reasonable adjustments are another way we can help people with disability by connecting with each individual to understand their unique needs and find solutions to help them present their best self in the recruitment process. We've already adopted some best practice adjustments into our processes, such as providing interview questions to you a few days in advance and giving you additional time to respond. But we'll be guided by you for any other adjustments that you need. For example, to support your application, you can access recruitment materials in accessible and alternative formats. Clear written and visual information about the interview process, such as this presentation, the interview questions in advance to help you prepare, additional time for any assessment tasks and for your interview, and an interview environment that is inclusive for all candidates. Please reach out and ask for any reasonable adjustments you need to support you through the recruitment process. This could include having your interview via phone or video, having additional time and access to an Auslan interpreter, such as we have with us today, and also bringing a support person along to help you in this process. For external applicants, you can find out more about our reasonable adjustment on our website at www.industry.gov.au. Then look under About Us, Applying for a Position. Now, our reasonable adjustments aren't just available during the recruitment process. Once you're an employee of the department, we will work with you to make adjustments to process, practice, procedure or environment to help you perform your job in a way that minimises the impact of your disability. Some examples could include providing you with assistive technology software, sourcing specialised equipment or furniture, and negotiating flexible work arrangements. Back to you, Fiona.
Thank you, Tanya. It's Fiona. Okay, so the next slide you see is stage 1, so the initial application, and many of you may have completed this stage already. If you have not, you can access the application via the application portal via the landing page, and the landing page is the same link you would have received in your invitation. So once you are directed to the department's application portal, you would follow the steps to complete the application process, including uploading your CV. You will be advised of the outcome of your application via your nominated email address. The closing date for all applications is this Wednesday, the 17th of August. The next stage is the application review. So following the submission, one of our team will be in contact with you via phone for a quick discussion about your application. This will be to ensure the minimum requirements have been met. We will confirm any reasonable adjustments that you may require through the program, and we will also confirm how you would like us to contact you throughout the program. We aim to have this stage completed by the 25th of August. Then we move on to stage 3, which is the video interview. You will receive an email from us providing you with a link to an on-demand video interview. This is a pre-recorded video that will ask you 3 questions, one at a time. You will be provided with up to 5 days to complete these answers and submit your final response. You will have the opportunity to practice each question prior to recording your answer, and questions will be based on the core capabilities of the role you have applied for. You may provide your answers via video using your camera, audio turning off your camera, or via written response. You will be told of the outcome of your video via the communication channel that you have nominated, and we aim to have this stage completed by the 2nd of September. Now we move on to stage 4, and as I mentioned, this is a combined stage with the work sample and the panel interview. So we'll run through the work sample first. A work sample is a written response designed to replicate a task that you might be expected to perform in the role you have applied for. As part of this process, you will receive a work sample assessment via email to complete prior to your panel interview. And as I mentioned, only candidates who are progressing to panel interview will receive this assessment. The scenario is tailored to the specific capabilities of the role, and you will have at least 3 days to complete the work sample assessment. The panel may refer to your work sample in the panel interview. So together with your work sample, we have a panel interview in stage 4. Panel interviews are conducted online via Microsoft Teams. A typical interview lasts about 30 minutes, although time will be adjusted as required. You will have the opportunity during your interview to ask the panel members questions regarding the department or the role. There will be 3 panel members, including the chair, and a scribe. And a scribe is used to take notes throughout the interview. You will be provided with the questions for your panel interview 48 hours before your interview, and questions will be based on the Australian Public Service Commission's Integrated Leadership System capabilities and behaviours, and a link can be found on the landing page. Any reasonable adjustments will be confirmed by our team when we contact you regarding your interview time and date. A little bit more about the panel interview. You might be wondering about some examples of questions. So we've got 2 here. The first one, how do you identify opportunities for team members to work together to solve problems? And another example, please provide an example of how you stay motivated to perform tasks when you are not directly supervised. We recommend that when preparing for your interview, you use the STAR method as a way of structuring your responses to the questions. So the STAR method, it's an acronym for situation, task, action, and result. So situation, set the scene and give the necessary details of your example. Task, describe what your responsibility was in that situation. Action, explain exactly what steps you took to address it. And finally, the result, share what outcomes your actions achieved. Additional support documents and videos that may assist you in preparing for a panel interview can be found on the landing page for this program. We aim to have panel interviews completed by the 30th of September. And then we get to the 5th and final stage, which is references. So following the panel interview, if you are successful, you will need to nominate 2 referees. You will be sent a request to complete where you provide the details of each referee. Wherever possible, your referee should be your current manager and a previous manager you have worked with in the past 5 years. A reference questionnaire will then be sent directly to the referees you have nominated. and we aim to have referees or references completed by the 14th of October. Okay, and now we arrive at the outcome. So once references have been completed, you will be contacted to advise that you have been successful in the role you applied for, or you have been considered suitable for the role and placed in a merit pool, or you have been unsuccessful in this recruitment program. To give you a little more information about the merit pool and what happens if you are successfully placed in one, I'm going to pass back to Tanya from the department. Thanks, Tanya.
Hi, it's Tanya speaking again. Suitable candidates who complete a competitive selection process may be added to a merit pool. If you're placed in a merit pool, you could be offered the vacancy you applied for or a similar vacancy in a similar location if one becomes available. Now, your application will remain active in the merit pool for 18 months from the date the role was first advertised. And for this program, that means the 19th of January 2024. Thanks, Fiona.
Thanks, Tanya. It's Fiona again. Well, that concludes the information component of the session, and I would like to thank you all for your time today, this afternoon, and wish you all the very best in the recruitment program. I will now hand over to Rebecca. I know we have some questions already. Thank you very much for sending those through, and we'll address as many as we can now, and then obviously the information will be available following this session. Thanks, Rebecca.
Thanks, Fiona. It's Rebecca from Randstad speaking again. I will now go through some of the questions that we've had sent through. Many of these have been similar in nature, so we've grouped these together where possible. The first question is, who do I contact if I require additional information about reasonable adjustments? So the first place to contact is our dedicated team. You can contact them on 1800 648 942 or email them on disr.recruitment@randstadsourceright.com.au. And those contact details are on screen at the moment as well. Another question we had was regarding the merit pool and whether or not somebody from another federal government department could contact you regarding a role. And the answer is yes, if you're placed in a merit pool, they may be able to do so. Another question was, how will I know if I've been successful to the next stage? Our team will be contacting you via your nominated communication channel to advise you if you've been successful in progressing to the next stage. Another question was around applying for multiple roles. And if you apply for multiple roles, do you have to complete multiple recruitment processes? That's a really good question. This will be managed on a case-by-case basis, and it will really depend on how many other roles you have applied for within the program. But wherever possible, we will endeavour to streamline the process as much as we can. Another question was regarding referees and whether or not you have to provide recent referees. And the guidance to that is that wherever possible, your referees should be your current manager and a previous manager that you've worked with in the past 5 years. If you don't have suitable referees, please contact us to discuss alternative options. We've also had a number of inquiries that are very specific to each role, particularly when it comes to flexible working arrangements, whether that's around location or part-time, full-time hours or other flexibility around work hours. The best person to contact this is the contact officer listed against each role on the landing page. So when you look at the list of roles available on the landing page and you select the role that you're applying for, you'll be taken to a page with more information regarding that role. And on that page are the contact details for the contact officer, which will be an email and phone number you can contact this person on to discuss specific questions relating to each specific role. You can continue to ask any questions you may have following today's session by contacting our team via the contact methods on screen. Those again are calling our team on 1800 648 942 or emailing our team at disr.recruitment@randstadsourceright.com.au. I'll now hand over to Tanya to close our session. Thank you, Tanya.
Thanks so much, Rebecca. It's Tanya speaking again. So as Rebecca said, this is the end of our presentation. We are really excited about the level of interest in this recruitment round, and we hope that this is just the start of a broader move towards making employment opportunities in the APS more accessible for people with disability. On behalf of the whole team, I want to thank you for joining us today and absolutely encourage you to reach out if you have any questions. We wish you the very best. Thank you.